of the sky and of the land, sing, oh, sing always. Nature, human and divine, all around us lies. Lord of all, to thee we raise grateful hymns of praise. Sighing, breathing, hear the sound echoing this day. Gently, sweetly bearing forth life in wondrous ways. Tiny planet, blue and green, Mother Earth, our home. Fellow creatures, take my hand, never more alone.
Welcome to Earthwalk, a jazz, I'm so glad you could be here, a Jazz Ecology Concert. I am Pastor Dave Danoon of the First Congregational Church of Webster Groves. We are a local church of the United Church of Christ located on the ancestral lands of the Osage and Missouri peoples. Earthwalk is a production of our church's Ministry of Imagination, Creativity, and the Arts, Reverend Cliff Airy, director. Cliff is the saxophonist you just heard, and also the director of the Oikos Ensemble, who has started off this edition of Earthwalk and from whom we will be hearing throughout the program. Other members of the ensemble are Kim Fuller-Barnes and Ariana Airy, vocals, Carol Beth True, piano, Tim Osick, trumpet, Glenn Smith, bass, and David True, percussion, and we have a very special guest here today, Mark Lucas, cello. With the band members today are also Michael Wysession and Kathryn Hanson, whom you can read about on the back page of your bulletin and who have much to offer us in the sharing of wisdom and knowledge about the Earth's desperate need for good and conscientious stewardship by people of faith and by faithful people. We also have with us today Bethany Springer and Elizabeth George of the St. Louis Community Foundation, for whom we will be collecting donations to provide relief to those who were affected by the tornado on May 19th of this year. More about that at the end of the program. So, thanks to everyone who is making this program possible, and thank you for attending. Now, on with Earthwalk.
Precious world bequeathed to us, stewards of your grace, guide us as we seek a path honoring this place. Give us courage, grant us wisdom, that we may sustain all the blessings of this world in your holy name.
Remember the sky that you were born under. Know each of the stars' stories. Remember the moon. Know who she is. Remember the sun's birth at dawn. That is the strongest point of time. Remember sundown and the giving away to night. Remember your birth, how your mother struggled to give you form and breath. You are evidence of her life and her mother's and hers. Remember your father. He is your life also. Remember the earth whose skin you are, red earth, black earth, yellow earth, white earth, brown earth. We are earth. Remember the plants, trees, animal life, who all have their tribes, their histories, their families too. Remember the wind. Remember her voice. She knows the origin of this universe. Remember, you are all people, and all people are you. Remember. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? The grasshopper, I mean. The one who has flung herself out of the grass, the one who is eating sugar out of my hand, who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down, who is gazing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel down in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I have been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?
Summertime and the living is easy. The fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Your daddy's rich and your mama's good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. On after mornings, you're gonna wake up rising. Each day a blessing when you look to the sky. All the colors of creation surround you. So sing, little darling, don't you cry. On winter evenings, when the moon has risen, stars are a-twinkling, looking mighty fine. We're like children caught up in the wonder, yeah. So dance, oh my children, don't you cry. Springtime blessings fill the heart with wonder, filled with greening, the earth comes to bud with the promise of eternal creation. So live, all you people, you all live as one song. Live, all you people, your one wild precious life, yeah. So live, all you people, your one wild precious
Who are you? Who am I? These questions seem simple, but the answers are not very obvious. Questions of I and thou have long been a part of religious discussions, but now they are with science as well. Right. First of all, talking about a me or you in the singular doesn't make any sense at all. Your body has about 30 trillion cells in it, all working together. But it also has over 40 trillion other organisms, bacteria all over your body. You're filled with your GI tract with them. You couldn't digest your food without them. You have hundreds of species of bacteria on your skin. They give each of us our unique smell. You have, on average, 40 to 80 species of fungi in your toenails. Your body is covered with mites. Your eyebrows have a unique set of species that you couldn't do without, because these mites eat the dead skin that would otherwise accumulate on your bodies. You're a walking colony. And most of you isn't even you. And, you're closely related to all that other life. Chimpanzees share 99% of their genes with you. Mice share 97.5% of their genes with you. Mushrooms share 50% of their genes with you. 50%. If you eat a salad with mushrooms, you're committing cannibalism. Who are you? The lines between us and the rest of the world aren't that so clear also. I mean, over the course of this hour, with the people in the room breathing in and out, the lines between all of you has blurred a little bit. Put your hands on the pews there. You're going to absorb chemicals through the pores in your skin. You'll absorb new bacteria that will change the colonies on your skin. they even can change your DNA of you. And the atoms of your body are not the atoms you were born with. You're part of the planet. You're not separate from it, constantly exchanging your atoms with the rest of it. In fact, every one of the cells in your body is like a little ocean with salt water in it, because life evolved in the ocean. And all our cells are filled with that same salt water. In a sense, you are all just the ocean's experiment in land exploration. The wise physicist Albert Einstein said, a human being is part of the whole called by us the universe, a part limited in time and space. He experiences himself, his thoughts and feelings, as something separate from the rest, an optical delusion of consciousness. This delusion is a kind of prison for us, restricting us to our personal desires and affection of just a few persons near us. Our task must be to free ourselves from that prison by widening our circle of understanding and compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature in its beauty. I'm going to read that again. Our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening our circle of understanding and compassion. I mean, compassion has long been a foundation of religions, but this is coming from a scientific understanding of connection. And you know what? The history of our human cultural evolution has been one of widening this circle of compassion from, families, extended families, clans, packs, communities, towns, cities, states, nations, continents, and onto the planet, solar system, the galaxy, the universe, the multiverse. I see the broadening circle of compassion as being inevitable. I mean, think about what's happened in just my lifetime. Civil rights, ethnic rights, gender rights, LGBTQ rights, animal rights, environmental rights, planetary rights. The sphere has been moving outward. Yeah, there are setbacks. There are people who have power and rights and don't want to share them. But the tide of history is against them. When my grandmothers were born, they had the wrong gender. They couldn't vote. When I was born, lots of Americans had the wrong skin color, and they couldn't vote. When my kids were born, lots of Americans had the wrong sexual orientation, and they couldn't marry. Maybe the current nationalist backlash that we're witnessing around the country is a reaction to this change because it has been happening so fast. That's a lot of change in one lifetime. But the backlash is just temporary. The continued march toward compassion is inevitable because the differences between us are just optical delusions.
gentle spirit, let me sing in the blossom yet to flower, breathes an essence full of power. Life, all life breaks forth in praise, beckons us to live the way. Noontide lights the land, reach out with your hand, deep love flowing from within, gentle spirit, let me sing of your mystery and your grace, found in every human face. Life, all life breaks forth in praise and beckons us to live the way. Night falls, sky grows dim, stars shine, evening in, deep peace flowing from within, gentle spirit, let me sing of each day I'm blessed to live, for the love I have to give. Life, all life breaks forth
Our prophets lead our people on fast to the promised land, and where we pass, the green of grass turns to bare brown sand. So high our city's towers soar above the deep-set fault. Immense they rise into the skies, pillars of cloud and salt. Impatient with the patient day, we rush to gain tomorrow. Our ships that plow the seas with nets leave a long, empty furrow. Our quick inventions spend our time faster and ever faster, while kind and unforgiving earth endures our brief disaster. For all we do is nothing to her bright eons of days, so let my dark tune turn and end, as all songs should, in praise. And in the hope of wisdom yet, I'll sing the hymn that praises earth's greater life that gives us life, the grace that still amazes.
One, two, three, four.
Singing all my blues away, singing in my own sweet way. Time is a-wasting, so I've got to start singing all my blues away. Dancing in the darkest night, dancing till I get it right. Stars keep on shining, so I've got to start dancing in the darkest night. Singing, dancing, standing tall. Hear what I'm saying right now. Caring, sharing, daring soul. I've just got to shout. Singing all my blues away, singing in my own sweet way. Time is a-wasting, so I've got to start singing all my blues away. Praying till I reach the light, praying 'cause I know it's right. Love is erasing all my doubts and fears, praying till I reach the light. Living more than day to day, living like I found a way. Life is a gamble, but I've got to play, living more than day to day. Singing, dancing, standing tall. Hear what I'm saying right now. Caring, sharing, daring soul. I've just got to shout. I'm singing all my blues away, miles away, singing all my blues away.
Let me follow up another set of questions. Who are you? What are you? What am I? Do you know most of your body is empty space? If you took all your particles, your protons and neutrons and electrons, and you put them all together, it would take up less than 1/billionth of a teaspoon. You're mostly nothing. We're held together by this delicate balance of four forces. Just four forces, a very delicate balance. And in fact, if you change the ratio of any one of these, even slightly, you could never exist. The world's atoms would just fly apart, or they would all condense together. The universe would be nothing but black holes. Stars and planets and life could never exist. The universe is a remarkable place, an awesome place. You know, when we're fortunate enough to live in a planet that has just the right conditions for life, with liquid water existing at its surface for over 4 billion years, that's almost a third the lifetime of the universe. And we're on the right size planet, in the right location, on the right kind of solar system, in the right location of the right kind of galaxy. And, you know, we need this for life to be able to exist for 3.5 billion years, because that's how long it's taken for life to evolve into something that can sing about it or write poetry about it. NASA telescopes so far have found over 5,000 exoplanets. These are other planets around other stars. But so far, not one of them looks like Earth. Not one of them looks like it would have the conditions for life to exist for billions of years. Stretch your arm out. If your shoulder is the start of this planet's lifetime, and the end of your finger is now, and take the very finest emery board and just lightly brush it across the top of your fingernail, you would erase all of human history. That's how new we are as a species. Human beings, Homo sapiens sapiens, has only been around for 300,000 years. Oh, okay, that sounds long, but dinosaurs and giant lizards occupied every major ecological niche on Earth for over 100 million years. We have a long ways to go. All right, how old are you? How old am I? I'm not talking about what's on your birth certificate. I mean the stuff that you're made of. Well, half of your body, hydrogen atoms, formed during the first 3 minutes of the inconceivable explosion of energy that we call, in the biggest understatement in science, the Big Bang, that happened 13.8 billion years ago. And the other half of your body, everything else, the carbon, the oxygen, the phosphorus, the iron, everything, that formed in a set of spectacular stellar explosions between 4.5 and 5 billion years ago. Supernovas, collisions of white dwarfs. Other stars had to live and die and explode for the atoms of your body to even exist. Next time you look at a mirror in the morning when you get up, think about this. You know, for someone who's between 5 and 13.8 billion years old, you don't look so bad. Right? But you know what? You only get to borrow those atoms for a little while, and then they go to somebody else. We live on a planet of death. More than 99.99% of all species that have ever existed on this planet are now extinct. More than 99.99999, more nines than I can count, individuals that have ever been alive on this planet are dead. And you have the honor of borrowing their atoms to carry that torch of life on for just a brief time. Statistically, because atoms are so small, every time you breathe in at least one atom that was breathed out by every human being that's ever lived on this planet. There was Einstein. There's Harriet Tubman. There's Abraham. There's Jane the cave woman. Everyone, they're all there. Okay? Breathe out, and the water vapor becomes part of the water cycle. Condensing, raining, evaporating again, absorbed by plants, flowing underground, becoming a glacier. So many different paths through the water cycle, and you're part of those paths. And the rock cycle too. The whole planet flows through you. I wish you could see each other the way I see you. I think there's a song about that or something, but with the eyes of a geologist. I mean, I look at you and I see those electromagnetic forces that are holding your body up and not having it collapse into a teaspoon. I look at your body and I see those nuclear forces creating all of those neutrons and protons. I mean, it's like the movie The Matrix with those cascading numbers. I see the 13.8 billion years in you. The Big Bang, the supernovas, the mountains pushed up over hundreds of millions of years from plate tectonic forces and then eroded again to the sea after millions of years of erosion. The sea's experiment in land exploration, life slowly clawing and scratching its way up out of the ocean and onto land 500 million years ago. Dinosaurs walking right here in this place 100 million years ago. It's all in us. It's all part of us. And, this scientific understanding gives me an extraordinary sense of gratitude. And you know what? Nothing I can read online or in the newspapers, no matter how embarrassing for our species it is, can ever begin to shake that gratitude, because there is no way I should exist. The odds against it are just far too enormous. And yet, here we are. I'm immensely grateful, and I'm humbled by the magnitude of it. I mean, hundreds of billions of stars in our galaxy, hundreds of billions of galaxies in our universe, maybe other universes. There's an old Slavic quote: "Be noble because you are made of stars. Be humble because you're made of dung." And you know what? Both are true.
Children, we're painted on canvases, picking up shades as we go. We start off with gesso, brushed on by people we know. Watch your technique as you go, and step back and admire my view. Can I use the colors I choose? Do I have some say what you use? Can I get some greens and some blues? We're made by the pigment of paint that is put upon. Our stories are told by the hues. Like Motley and Bearden, these masters of peace and light, layers of colors and time. Step back and admire my view. Can I use the colors I choose? Do I have some say what you use? Can I get some greens and some blues? We are like children, we're painted on canvases, picking up shades as we go. We start off with gesso, brushed on by people we know. Watch your technique as you go, and step back and admire my view. Can I use the colors I choose? Do I have some say what you use? Can I get some greens and some blues? We are like children, we're painted on canvases. We are like children, we're painted on canvases. We are like children.
The world is too much with us, late and soon. Getting and spending, we lay waste our powers. Little we see in nature that is ours. We have given our hearts away, a sordid boon. This sea that bears her bosom to the moon, the winds that will be howling at all hours and are upgathered now like sleeping flowers. For this, for everything, we are out of tune. It moves us not. Great God, I'd rather be a pagan suckled in a creed outworn. So might I, standing on this pleasant lea, have glimpses that would make me less forlorn. Have sight of Proteus rising from the sea, or hear old Triton blow his wreathed horn. You should be here. Nature has need of you. She has been laid waste. Smothered by the smog, the flowers are mute and the birds are few in a sky slowing like a dying clock. All hopes of Proteus rising from the sea have sunk. He is entombed in the waste we dump. Triton's notes struggle to be free. His famous horns are choked, his eyes are dazed, and Neptune lies helpless as a beached whale while insatiate man moves in for the kill. Poetry and piety have begun to fail as nature's mighty heart is lying still. Oh, see the wound widening in the sky. God is laboring to utter his last cry.
A new world, a blue world, a green world, abounding with blessing, created how a mystery, oh yeah, it's God's world, it's our world, a perfect world, a holy sanctuary, our home, a world for you and me, oh yeah. She's sighing, she's crying, expiring. Our Mother Earth is dying, so blinded, choked in misery. Oh yeah. Now strangled, trashed by you and me. It's time to stop this catastrophe. catastrophe. Oh yeah.
New York Times reporter Nicholas Kristof used to start off each year, January 1st, with an article talking about how the last year was the best year ever. It wouldn't matter what disasters had happened in the news that year. What he meant was that each year, more and more people around the world had access to electricity, to clean water, to health care, that came out of poverty, learned how to read, and fewer children died of childhood diseases. He's right. When I was born, and I'm old, but I'm not that old, most people in the world did not have access to clean water, did not have electricity, didn't know how to read, lived in poverty under dictators, and many children died of curable diseases. I mean, life is better for us. But there's a cost. There's no free lunch in the universe. Well, okay, except for the Big Bang. That was a free lunch. Everything else, though. There are now 8 billion humans on the planet, 8.1 now. When I was born, there were 3 billion people. The world's population quadrupled over the course of my father's lifetime. Our population has increased so fast that 8% of every Homo sapiens that has ever walked on this planet is alive today. And because most humans over history died as children, more than 20 or 25% of every Homo sapiens this high and above, adult humans, that has ever lived on this planet are walking around today. And the burden of us on our planet is extraordinary. We now consume almost 2 Earths worth of resources every year. How is this possible? We're borrowing against our children's future. Topsoil, fish in the ocean, we're using it up. Humans now control 3/4 of all of the land surface. We use 40% of the land just to raise and grow our food. And, you know, what's left over, glaciers and deserts and the Himalayas, isn't so easy to farm. If you divided up all of the world's land mammals into 3 categories, put them on 3 different scales. One was the weight of all humans. The other was the weight of all our mammals, the stuff we eat, cows and pigs, and our pets, and our pests, so dogs and cats and rats, everything that's there because of us, and everything else wild. Guess what the weight percentages of those 3 scales would be. Humans, 37%. We are now 37% of the entire mass of mammals on the Earth's surface. All our animals, mostly the animals we eat, 61%. You doing the math in your head? Everything else that's left over, all the wild animals, the deer, the bears, the elephants, everything, 2%. That's all that's left. In America, the combined area of parking lots and roads is now larger than the size of the state of Georgia. Our towns and cities that we live on put together is now larger than the size of the state of California. We are now the largest agent of geologic force on our planet. Let me give you an example. The mighty Mississippi River, which washes away the entire interior of the continent from the Rockies to the Appalachians, from Canada down to the Gulf of Mexico, yes, carries about 300 million tons of rock every year to the sea. We, in America, dig out of the ground over 8,000 million tons of rock every year to make our roads and our cars and our cities, everything in our world. That's 25 times more rock than the Mississippi carries, washing the continent to the sea. We now cause erosion more than 6 times faster than all natural processes combined. Wind, ice, water. If you were to write a textbook on geology now, the first 20 chapters will all be on us, and everything else will be in the last couple. We have an insatiable addiction to energy. We use energy at a rate of 21 terawatts. Right. That's 21 trillion joules of energy per year. I'm seeing a lot of blank faces. All right. That's 21 trillion small apples lifted 1 meter every second. If we humans had to generate our own electricity, you would need every man, woman, and child on Earth bench pressing 600 pounds every second, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Right? And of course, because we get most of this from burning coal and oil and gas, we've increased the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere from 280 parts per million before we started messing around with this to over 425 parts per million carbon dioxide. That's an increase of 50%. And the greenhouse gases are rapidly warming the planet because of it. Remember all the stuff about we shouldn't go over 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels? We blew past that years ago. We've been over that the last 2 years. The last time this planet had 425 parts per million carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, the planet was so warm that the glaciers had melted so much that sea level was 100 feet higher than it is today. So you might say, oh, so why hasn't that happened? Well, fortunately, it takes a lot of energy to melt ice, right? Put ice cubes in a glass on a hot summer day, your ice cubes will stay there away. But still, 500 billion tons of ice are now melting every year off of Greenland and Antarctica. And that's where we're going. And you know what? 20% of the world's population, that's 1.6 billion people, live within 100 feet of sea level. That's the change that we're going to see happen. We have a little bit of time, but that's where we're going. And this increase in temperature brings with it an increase in heat waves and droughts and wildfires, and also extreme weather events like extreme flooding and more powerful hurricanes and more dangerous tornadoes. Just look at the newspaper. And all this extra energy that we humans are generating and adding to Earth's surface are changing the weather system, making it a lot wilder, a lot less predictable. You know, for thousands of years, humans lived in balance with Earth and the rest of the biosphere. We are now living a life out of balance.
Today was yesterday, just one step away. Oh no, past is now present. How can this be? Prophets are calling, listen to me. Ice is melting way too fast. Mother Earth won't last. Tomorrow's destiny evolving rapidly. Oh my, fasten your seatbelts, hold on real tight, brace for the future, listen to me. Air is melting way too fast. Mother Earth won't last. fragile chemistry, a tattered legacy. My God, can we redeem it? Turn back the clock, repair the damage, heal Mother Earth. Time is running out too fast. Mother Earth won't last. Mother Earth won't last. Mother Earth won't last.
We do not need to plan or devise a world of the future. If we take care of the world of the present, the future will have received full justice from us. A good future is implicit in the soils, forests, grasslands, marshes, deserts, mountains, rivers, lakes, and oceans that we have now, and in the good things of human culture that we have now. The only valid futurology available to us is to take care of those things. We have no need to contrive and dabble at the future of the human race. We have the same pressing need that we have always had: to love, care for, and teach our children.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, yeah. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. Oh, and I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossoms on the trees, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Dragonflies out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace till day is done, that's what I mean. And it's a world, it's a new world, and a bold world for me, and I'm feeling good. shine. You know how I feel. Scent of the pine. You know how I feel. Freedom is mine, and that's how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Yes, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Woo! I'm feeling good. All right.
Just have more of that. All right. Whew. Man. All right. Feeling good. What can you do about what we've been talking about? What can you do about the challenges of the planet? About the changes to Earth's geology, to the Earth's surface, the climate, weather and life, tornadoes, all this? Well, there's a lot that you can do. First of all, enjoy it. Get out in it. Go for a hike. Go to a park. Go swimming or rafting. Go work on your garden. Dig in the dirt. You don't have to visit Yellowstone or Yosemite to be inspired by the earth, though I think that's great if you did, but just get outdoors. And if you're inspired, if you develop a sense of awe and gratitude towards the planet, you become a beacon for others around you. You inspire that in others. Second, never underestimate the power of your voice. You know what? Most politicians want to get reelected. And if a flood of calls, letters, and emails come in angry at what they're doing, they pay attention. And there's a lot to be angry about these days. Funding for science has been slashed all across Washington. National Science Foundation, its budget is more than 50% cut. Anything related to climate, slashed entirely. By the way, 4 days ago, the National Science Foundation got kicked out of their building in D.C. They haven't even been told where they're going to go. But there's a deeper problem with the kinds of things that I've been talking about here, because how many of you ever had a course about this, all this stuff I've been talking about, in high school? All right, I saw a hand. That's not enough. For most of our country's history, our high schools have taught almost nothing about geoscience, about natural hazards, climate, human impacts on the planet, how the planet works. Fortunately, this has changed. In 2013, a whole new approach to teaching about science was put forward in the country, the Next Generation Science Standards. This was a bipartisan, governors-led effort done with 26 U.S. states collaborating and working together with educators from most of the other states. It reimagines and recreates K-12 science as a set of fascinating storylines that are wrapped around interesting scientific phenomena that it engages and motivates students to explore and figure them out. They do this using the practices of science. Actually, they list out 8 practices of science and engineering. Stuff like asking questions, defining problems, developing and using models, planning and carrying out investigations, constructing explanations, designing solutions to stuff. The new approach does not involve memorizing lists of facts. In fact, it specifically says that should no longer be part of teaching science. But it lets kids do what scientists do, which is to have fun asking questions about the universe and going and figuring them out. Students and teachers are finding that this new way of teaching science is actually fun. And the next generation science standards have now been adopted or adapted by 45 US states, including Missouri and all the states around Missouri. I had the extreme honor of being in charge of the Earth and Space Science for the writing of both the next generation science standards and also Earth and Space Science at the National Academy of Science in the report, A Framework for K-12 Science Education, on which it was built. I see they're out there. I chaired the National Science Foundation's Earth Literacy Initiative, a project to put together what everyone should know about the Earth. They're in colorful brochures there. I encourage you to take one of them. That's what went into the Earth and space science of these new standards. There's a year of biology. There's a semester of each of chemistry and physics, and there is a year of Earth and space science, both for high school and for middle school. Yes, I am happy to say that Earth and space science finally has a seat in the classroom with the other sciences. And it's all the geoscience stuff that I've been talking about. Natural hazards like tornadoes, natural resources, human impacts on the Earth, climate change. These topics are why Earth and space science now got a year of high school science and a year of middle school, with chemistry and physics required just to have a semester of each. And this means that all of the schools here in Missouri and in Illinois are now moving toward including a full year of Earth and space science into high school, either as standalone courses or incorporated into other courses like biology and chemistry and physics. For all students. This isn't optional. These are standards for all. And I know that Webster and Kirkwood and Parkway and Rockwood and Clayton and all the other schools here are in the process of doing this because each one of them has invited me in to talk to them to help show them how to do this, because I wrote the standards. But change is hard, and they need to be held accountable. So if every one of you were to contact your town school board, where you live, and ask them to show you how and where Earth science, with climate and tornadoes and all that, is being incorporated into their high school curriculum, you will hold them accountable. Make sure that our students have the tools and the understanding and the hope to lead us back into a balance with our planet. Yeah, the people in power now, well, when it comes to making decisions about the Earth, they know not what they do because they never had any of this in school and they don't understand it, and so they don't care about it. But the next couple decades are going to go fast, and our students will very soon be our economic leaders, our business leaders, our political leaders, our social leaders. I mean, I've been doing geoscience research and teaching for over 40 years now. Another 20 is nothing. I mean, I dreamed and pushed for decades to get Earth and space science into high school around the country, and now it is. And please help make sure that the students of St. Louis have the opportunity to learn about and love our planet. To develop that same sense of connection and compassion and gratitude and awe that comes with studying and discovering the amazing planet that we are joyfully and humbly able to be part of for our brief time on Earth. H.G. Wells said, "Civilization is a race between catastrophe and education. Help us win that race.
One, two.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows, and what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions, and rainbows have nothing to hide.
So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Who said that every wish would be heard and answered when wished on the morning star? Somebody thought of that, and someone believed it, and look what it's done so far. What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing, and what do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me.
Rainbows are beacons to help us keep hoping that someday we all will agree.
We'll join together to share in a vision that offers a bright destiny. What are the stories we tell to our children that offer a future legacy?
Someday we'll find it,
The rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me.
It is our pleasure to have been reminded of our vital role in answering the planet's environmental needs. But for every planetary need, and probably more so, there is also a local need. And locally, we are concerned about the recovery of people who have been affected by the May 19th tornado. And one center for distribution of much needed funds is the St. Louis Community Foundation. And here to talk with us about the work of the St. Louis Community Foundation are Bethany Springer and Elizabeth George. I'll invite you to come to the microphone.
Thank you, Reverend. And thank you to First Congregational Church, to our incredible performers, all of you, for offering up today's benefits to the St. Louis Community Foundation's Disaster Relief Fund. I'm Elizabeth George. I'm the Director of Economic Mobility at the Community Foundation. And the Community Foundation, our mission, our purpose, is to inspire philanthropy that connects community to donors to build a more equitable and vibrant St. Louis region. And we do that through a number of different ways. First of all, at our heart, we are a grant-making institution, and we make grants out of donor-advised funds and out of what we call field of interest funds. And those funds have a specific purpose. It might be economic mobility, the work that I do. It might be early education and education innovation, the importance that Dr. Wysession was talking about. And it is also our Disaster Relief Fund, which Bethany is going to tell you a little more about.
Bring up my notes here. So what is this fund, the St. Louis Disaster Relief Fund? On May 16th, a tornado devastated North City. I think it blew through about a mile wide, were some of the reports. We, as the St. Louis Community Foundation, activated a fund within days of the disaster in order to take in donations. Very quickly, we were able to do that. Within a few weeks, we were able to get our first grants out. And as established by the advisory committee that we put together, we identified 3 areas of greatest need: shelter and housing, storage and moving services, and then food insecurity. And so those first grants and grants since then have been paid out to organizations on the ground that are doing the work directly with those affected by the tornado. So as the recovery efforts continue, the advisory committee is dedicated to make sure that we are continuing to address the needs. If those needs change, then the funds from the foundation will then pivot to be able to serve those needs. So we are very grateful to receive funds today. Thank you for your help in supporting these individuals.
So you want to know how to give? There are a lot of different ways. Perhaps the most straightforward is just to leave a cash or check donation in the basket on the table just outside the center doors. In the case of checks, for those of you who have not already written a check to First Congregational Church, which I promise we will direct to the Community Foundation, you can write a check directly to the St. Louis Community Foundation and put Disaster Relief Fund in the memo line of your check. The other methods, we'll use First Church as the medium for giving. Those giving by credit or debit card, please see Joe Hari, who will be out there, young bearded fellow in the narthex just outside of the doors here. And he will take your donation that way. To give electronically, when you get to the table where others are dropping cash in the basket, there will be a sign with a QR code on it, which is the same QR code that's both in front of and behind me here. And there that will take you to the donate page of our website, and you will find a drop-down menu on which one of your selections will be Tornado Relief. It will ask you to enter payment information, and if you prefer just to do that by using a web browser, go to firstchurchwg.org/donate. And just a little more acknowledgement. Ariana, Kim, Carol Beth, Tim, Glenn, Dave, Mark, Cliff, thank you for your music today. Michael, thank you again for your words. Kathryn, thank you again for your words. Andrew and Mark, you made all of this possible for us to be able to preserve, and that'll be all. Now enjoy the coda of this edition of Earthwalk.
O great Spirit, whose voice I hear in the winds, and whose breath gives life to all the world, hear me. I need your strength and wisdom. Let me walk in beauty and make my eyes ever hold the red and purple sunset. Make my hands respect the things you have made, and my ears sharp to hear your voice. Make me wise so that I may understand the things you have taught my people. Let me learn the lessons you have hidden in every leaf and rock. Help me remain calm and strong in the face of all that comes towards me. Help me find compassion without empathy overwhelming me. I seek strength, not to be greater than my brother, but to fight my greatest enemy, myself. Make me always ready to come to you with clean hands and straight eyes, so when life fades as the fading sunset, my spirit may come to you without shame.